Welcome everybody to ISE 2018 here in Amsterdam. We're on the NEC Display Solutions stand. You'll find us in Hall 5, stand R20. And I've got a content genius with me today, Alex Hughes.
Thank you.
Alex is the co-founder and one of the directors, probably the creative director, I suspect, being a nerdy, techie type of person, of Amigo.
Yes.
Award-winning agency, do lots of work in the digital signage space. What are you well known for? Retail stuff? Or?
Not really the retail stuff, it's more the corporate lobby space, that kind of thing. It's the large format screens, the big media walls, which a lot of blue chip companies have in their reception spaces at the moment.
So you've done London Stock Exchange, many years ago?
A long time ago. We've done work for PricewaterhouseCoopers at their Embankment Place headquarters.
Condé Nast,
which is actually the latest project, actually. Okay, we just delivered that. That's an 8 metre high by about 2 or 3 metres wide wall, which sits at the bottom of a very large staircase, which they use as an event space as well. And that was a...
So what's the technology then? You're setting LED into these?
Yeah, it's LED. It's 2.5mm picture.
Have you seen that as a change? Because
Absolutely.
when you did the Executive Briefing Centre, it was probably video wall stuff.
Yeah. The RMG stuff was a very big mix of technology, but this is all about LED now. And we're working with clients who are putting in 1.9mm, 1.7mm pitch LED, and it's fantastic. But the challenge from our perspective as a creative agency is delivering amazing content on a very large format screen. And so everything you pull through, everything you push through at that size usually has a massive impact, any kind of movement you do, things like that. So that's great for us. We'll grab people's attention in this transient space as they're walking by the reception.
How do you start that conversation with a customer? Say I'm Condé Nast, or a big corporate with a big atrium, and I come to you. How do you start that conversation with them about what they should put in?
Well, we look at what their needs are, what their audience needs are. So we take a totally different approach from the AV community, and we look at what they want to say about their content, what they want to say with their content, what messages they want to do, whether they want to deliver a screen which is much more branding oriented, or whether it's a dashboard oriented screen, and then we develop the content around their content needs. So it's much more about the content.
So this is in big cities, I guess.
Yes.
People who are visiting the head office in the building.
Head offices in London, and Canary Wharf, in central London, places like that. And so their audience is employees as well as visitors. So you've got a very kind of passive environment where you've got 7 to 10 seconds to kind of grab their attention with content they've probably seen before, a lot of branding content, a lot of messaging content. So we're interested in ways in which we can get that message across succinctly, but in a really clever and interesting and dynamic way, which isn't boring, which isn't mundane. These people have spent an awful lot of money on these installations. You know, if they're going to run the same kind of content on it, then what's the point? So it's our job to pique people's interest, to capture their curiosity.
And is the content that you put up, is it driven by data these days, or is it pretty static?
A lot of it is, and we're trying to push that, because that's what you're trying to do. You've got to feed these beasts. These are huge things which devour content. They're channels which are on 8 hours, 10, 12 hours a day. So the more automated it can be, the more template driven it can be, the better for the client. Otherwise it costs an awful lot to either hire people in to develop content or employ agencies like us on a daily basis.
Right. And when you come to a show, you're one of these people that we write about, in a nice way, of course.
Thank you.
You're in and out in one day, which seems to be you're obviously very busy with stuff, but what do you look for when you fly in and fly out throughout the show? And how do you find the things that you want to look for?
Well, I usually speed round the show as fast as I can to get a flavour of what's out there, not really from a technological perspective, because we know about that in advance with our clients, but what's different about the content on this technology. And what we found here in this show at the moment, it's not bad. There's a few more contextual pieces, so that's really useful, but there still seems to be a lot of content which is about the brightness and the colour and the luminescence and things like that, when actually we're looking for attention-grabbing content.
Right.
So
this is the conversation we've had for 5 or 6 years.
Every year.
Never in context.
It's slowly getting there, and we're finding that actually our clients are now engaging with us on a one-to-one basis. They're actually engaging with us to ask how can they make their content deliver. They're less interested in about pixel pictures or black boxes.
So your clients probably don't come to events like this, but they rely on you to come, say you've been, say what you've seen, and go back and report back to them?
Yes, exactly. Act as their kind of their eyes and ears on the ground in the industry, if you like. So that's really, really good. I've been in meetings recently where the dynamic has changed. So the client will be there with us, asking us advice on what kind of hardware and what kind of screen to put in, based on their needs from a content perspective. And that's what we've been singing about for 5-10 years. It should be content driven, rather than technology led.
Correct. Okay, that's interesting. You also did a very interesting thing at the university, which you told me about a while back.
That's a big project which we won late last year for the University of Northampton. And they're putting in 2 media walls, 2 NEC matrix media walls, tile matrix media walls, 5x5, and that's something which we're going to be delivering hopefully by the end of July. But,
yeah, and they're using that as a corporate campus.
They're using it for two aims really. They've got two big atriums they're creating in their new campus, the Creative Hub and the Learning Hub, both with different content needs, but essentially they're for students to be able to put their work upon, for the university to communicate with students and the faculty members and staff, things like that, and to basically add to the ambience of these kind of atrium areas, really.
Right. Alex, thank you for your time. I know you're in a rush to go and see a few more things.
Thank you very much.
One day here in Amsterdam, but
that's
thanks
right.
for coming with us.
Thanks, Adrian.